Hello, my name is Adam Neiman, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about how to perform the Heimlich maneuver. In the United States, choking kills more than 3,000 people each year, according to the American Red Cross. If you saw a choking victim, would you know what to do or how to respond? According to the Mayo Clinic, choking occurs when a foreign object becomes lodged in the throat or windpipe, blocking the flow of air. Adults generally choke on food, while children choke on small objects. A person choking isn't breathing. A person that's not breathing isn't receiving any oxygen. And more importantly, they're not receiving any oxygen to their brain. Brain damage can occur as quickly as 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen. Because choking is so common, and due to the damage that can occur so quickly, we all need to know what to do. What you need to do if you encounter a choking victim. The most commonly practiced technique and number one taught technique to assist a choking victim is the Heimlich maneuver. My goal tonight is for you all to leave with the knowledge to help your friend or family member if they were to fall victim to choking. I'll go over some of the history of the Heimlich maneuver. I will discuss how to recognize a choking victim. And then most importantly, I will go over the steps required to perform the life-saving steps of a Heimlich maneuver. This information that you're given tonight will help you save the life of a friend or family member that becomes a choking victim. Dr. Henry Heimlich was born February 3, 1920 in Wilmington, Delaware. He studied medicine at Cornell University. And Dr. Heimlich made a large impact in the medical community and was responsible for performing the first total organ replacement surgery in history, and for developing the Heimlich chest drain valve, which has saved thousands of soldiers' lives in battle. Dr. Heimlich is most well known for his 1974 publication on his procedure now known as the Heimlich maneuver. Prior to 1974, first aid courses taught to use the back slap technique to assist choking victims. And starting in 1976, the American Heart Association and the American Red Cross adopted the Heimlich maneuver into their first aid programs. Before performing the Heimlich maneuver, you have to be able to recognize the signs of a choking victim. The universal sign for a choking victim is hands clutched to the throat. Other signs include the inability to talk, the inability to cough, your lips and skin turning blue, and loss of consciousness. If the person is able to talk or cough, then the object isn't completely blocking their airway. You should encourage the victim to cough and don't perform the Heimlich maneuver. If you do determine that the person is truly choking, then you would start the steps of the Heimlich maneuver. And the steps of the Heimlich maneuver are as follows. You will stand behind the choking victim and wrap your arms around their waist. Place one of your feet in between their legs for leverage and lean the person or victim slightly forward. You would next make a fist in one hand and position it between the victim's navel and their rib cage. Then with the other hand, you grasp the fist. You press hard into the abdomen with quick upward thrust as if you were lifting the person up. You want to perform a total of 5 of these abdominal thrusts until the blockage becomes dislodged or the victim becomes unconscious. If the victim were to come unconscious, you would call 911 and perform CPR immediately. And I'd like to ask for a volunteer, Scott, if you could come up, as I'd like to demonstrate the steps of the Heimlich maneuver. Again, the first step would be I would try to determine if the victim was choking, so I would try to talk to Scott, and he's not able to talk or speak, so I would start the steps. The first step would be to position myself behind the victim and wrap my hands around his waist, position my foot in between his legs, make a fist with one hand, and grab the fist with the other hand. And I would then, at that point, I would perform 5 upward thrusts as if I was lifting up the victim until the object became dislodged from his airway. The Heimlich maneuver is a world-renowned life-saving technique that has saved over 50,000 lives since its introduction in 1974. I've shared some of the history behind the Heimlich maneuver. You should now be able to determine the signs of a choking victim, as well as be able to perform the life-saving techniques of the Heimlich maneuver. I hope now that you would know what to do if you encountered a choking victim. Thank you.